They didn't. They would describe it as being somebody. They never really put the limits or defined success, too clearly. But you knew it was something that wasn't really there in the projects. I mean, you had to rise above that, if you will. And I don't mean that in a negative way, because even though I aspire to get a good education and to pursue a better life, always have a connection with the projects. Always. Even to this day, they're tearing the Magnolia down now, and Katrina didn't help any, but even now, when I go back to the city, I go back to the projects and kind of see people I know. It's been a long time, but there's still a few folk around here that I know.
So the people you visit, was there anybody that you remember being like especially encouraging, or that you looked up to in those conditions, or that really encouraged you throughout the time? Maybe they were your role models, or something like that.
Well, clearly my mom. She was the #1 cheerleader. But then there was a Sunday school teacher, a gentleman named James Z. Williams. He was very, very influential. We all looked up to him, and it's kind of interesting. I doubt if he's 5 feet tall, and I doubt if he weighs 100 pounds. I mean, he's a very, now, as an older person, I look at him and he's a very small man in stature, but really large. He's small physically, but large in stature. He was really very stern with us. He helped us to understand what it was like to be a man of achievement, a man with goals, a man with dignity and respect, and those kinds of things. And it's kind of funny because when we were growing up, he looked like a large man. He looked really huge, and I think it was more of his presence, his voice, and he had a strong voice, and strong not just in volume, but in what he said and his conviction and those kinds of things. And so he was very instrumental. Was he one of the individuals that propelled you into a career in running or athletics as you got older? Not so much. He was clearly one of the people, anytime I came home, would be one of the first to want to congratulate me, and he would send me articles while I was in college of me, of my accomplishments, and so he always kept up with it. But he was one of the people that would encourage me. But he didn't specifically encourage athletics. He encouraged achievement. Okay. Just period. It was more impressive for him that I was going to college. That was even more impressive than the running. But then there were other people, coaches. Raynard Alexander comes to mind. Harold Malone. Buck Huntley. I mean, those are people who really helped develop my athletic skills.
That's okay. So while you were running in academics and seeing the academics, what were your goals as an undergraduate to achieve academically?
Well, academically, clearly getting a degree was the ultimate goal. I mean, that, without saying, was the #1 goal. Then, in pursuit of that degree, to do the very best that you could in the classroom, and that was a goal to be as good a student as you possibly could be. And those were the things that we focused on, that I focused on.
And so, what inspired you to go to graduate school or to continue to do graduate work?
Well, again, you always want to achieve, and the successes that I've had on the athletic field and in the classroom